good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Monday night at MATCHFIT Entertainment means Rainlight Racing LMU Series. I think we are here at Fuji Raceway tonight for round 7. Massive fan, I know myself. Davo and J-Man right by my side are both massive fans. How you doing, my friend?
Huge fans.
Huge.
Great, mate. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Yeah, fantastic circuit. Around that 4.6 odd kilometers, 16 turns, and just stooped in history. And always delivers, Davo, doesn't it? This place doesn't matter what we're in. When we come here, it's always a spectacle, and lots of trickiness about the circuit, especially around the back end as well, with a little chicane in the final sector there.
Yes,
So
yeah.
turns 10, 11, 12. That'll be a talking point, I'm sure, tonight, as will be, I think, turns 14, 15, as the track drops away from them at the crest before the final turn. So looking forward to this one tonight, as per usual. Rainlight Racing, we do have a little bit down on the hypercar numbers. We have a few apologies here tonight. So those you are away, and hope you're well, and hope you're back to join us soon. However, a good basting once again of GT3 cars, which will no doubt turn up the action. But Q quali for the night, we do have a 20-minute available by the look of things, and first 10-minute, as per usual, will be forecast for the hypercars to go out there and do the business. So looking forward to this one, Davo.
Oh, absolutely, J-Man. And like you said, Fuji always delivering. I think we called it last week. We were so looking forward to this. I mean, just the width of this place. It just allows these guys to get some really good, serious side-by-side action. And the only downside, I think, is we've got a few less hypers than we did last week or over the past few weeks, because I think this is where a place that they would most definitely shine. But nonetheless, always a healthy GT field class of cars. As a backdrop to the hypers, and have these guys been delivering over the past few? Actually, both of the classes delivering over the past 3 or 4 weeks. J-Man, the final stages of the races in both classes have been amazing. Very exciting stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just kept us right on our toes right till the very end. So looking forward to this one. I'm sure will be no different. Pretty impressive times out there, actually, from both classes here in official practice. And Nathan Bewley already going to the top there on a 36.1. But I reckon watch out for Georgie Goddard here tonight. He looked super quick, and so did Chris Fraser as well, Davo. So Bewley will welcome the competition, I'm sure.
Absolutely. The good, healthy competition in between the hyper drivers at the moment. And like I just mentioned, look, not only the GT class cars, but the hypers as well, really keeping us on the edge of our seats in the closing stages of the races over the past few weeks. 20-minute qualifying, J-Man, 10 minutes each for the two classes, as we have Hayden Teggles, as we like to refer to him as, doing some serious tyre warming there in the Peugeot down this hugely long straight. Fuji, it is massive. One of the longest out there. And again, just another unique part of Fuji that we so love. I mean, this track, it really does. The Fuji track is right up there with the big names. Right up there with the big names like Spa and Monza and the like. J-Man, amazing place to go racing. good fun to jump behind the wheel and go for a race. Great to call as a commentator, J-Man, as we've already mentioned. So, Robbie Mitchell, not on track tonight, but we do have Fraser, Jason Bone, Hayden Teggs, Nathan Bewley, and George Gutter. George Gutter sitting at the top of that list at the moment too, mind you. J-Man.
Yeah, and look, the difference between, you know, those cycle laps to when these tyres really start working is a big difference in it, where you sort of straight away the 35s and 34s, and all of a sudden we're knocking low 31s there, Hayden Tegg, so Team Teggs into it. That extra tyre warming seems to have paid off that lap, so one thinks there's a little bit more to come yet from these. So I did see around about, I think, a 13-second difference, or maybe a bit more actually, between the two classes. But man, they are very, very committed, and down through after the hairpin and down through 300R, all the way down to turn 10 Dunlop corner. Man, that is just some serious commitment. The speeds these guys are generating, these big stops come up super quick. So good evening, everybody tuning in as well. We do see you there, Reedy. Supercars NZ, good to see you guys tuning in. Obviously, Isaac out there tonight. He's got a little bit of time before his qualifying, but still manages to find the chat box, as does Matty Clark. Always quick to jump in and say hello. So g'day to you all, and we wish you well in your qualifying session coming up. Yeah, part-time racer, part-time commentator, but more commentating these days for Isaac Ichikawa Davo than driving. So it's going to be fascinating
True that.
to see how our stablemate goes there. We'll be rooting for him for sure.
Always, J-Man.
Big part of the Monday machine at the moment is Isaac.
He is very, very much a part of the MATCHFIT family now. On board more often than not is Isaac Ichikawa on a Monday night with his travel commitments. Look, J-Man, enough of that malarkey, because qualifying is winding down quickly. And these boys getting some times in there. Bewley with a magenta sector 1 on his current lap.
Yeah, personal best sector 2 as well. So he's going to finish this one off. Look for improvement. Only needs 2.5 tenths, and he does better than that. Goes in there on a 29.7. So set the marker. Chris Fraser, he's got a couple of greens to his name, and I'll just try and see how far up he is. Goddard pokes another lap, and there goes.
Yeah, nicely.
She's the front row provisionally. Still got 1 minute and 15 to go.
Fraser now running across the line, J-Man.
Yeah, look, he does improve, but needs a bit more. And Bewley goes magenta. Oh, did he? No, he didn't go magenta yet. No.
Hayden Tegg as well across the line with not improving on his best lap. Who did though was Chris Fraser as well on his last time around. Bewley again getting the magenta sectors up. Not so good in sector 1, but magenta in sector 2, and here he comes again, ladies and gentlemen. Already with a 29.7 under his belt, and there it is, another 0.2 of a second as we start to see
5.43. I tell you what, George Goddard read that. He wasn't going to get across the line, so that is it. We will see the GT3s come out. We still got, I believe, Hayden Tegg and Chris Fraser to round out the lap. Interested to see whether Fraser, based on his current delta, he's looking to come into the lane. Tegg, however, with a personal best in sector 1, and then a little bit less in sector 2 than is ideal. They look to press on and see if he can improve on this. Depends how good sector 1 was for him and the final sector. So he's in there at the moment on a 30.7.
Oh, he gets it too.
He goes with a 30.5.
Good call there. So an improvement for Tegel on his best lap there. So good close times. I mean, apart from Bewley, he just gets it out into another postcode. But yeah, good close times up there for the Hypers. No surprise on a track like Fuji. High average speed here at Fuji. Technical back section of the circuit, but the pretty much 2/3 of it is very flowing and plenty of room to move for the Hypers. As we see the GT cars out on track, Crossland in the official Sim Blacks, number 43, Aston Martin. First with Lawrence in the background. Lawrence, J-Man, I think back on board full time for I think the remainder maybe of this season, but definitely for season 14. So definitely, well, always one to look out for. Makalos on track tonight. Matty Clark, no surprise. Martin Richards and Gunther Rowe, remember, never count out Mr. Rowe in the black and white pinstriped Chevy Corvette.
And it's interesting, Davo, 7 and 3/4 minutes left to run. These guys on their first flyer almost look like, to me, like Crossland and Lawrence just prepared to sacrifice this lap. For sure, as far as the tyre weaving, and just see Harry Lawrence just get a little bit sideways as he came out of 100, then heading down towards the hairpin, and just prepared to put the effort into the tyres. We saw, I think it was Chris Fraser doing that, and Hayden Tegg earlier as well. I mean, I'm sure all the Hypers were doing it, but they were a couple we picked up on. But this one here, albeit, you know, will look impressive as they come across the line to be the first cars through. There'll be so much more on offer, I think, on lap 2 and 3.
Absolutely.
I think lap 3 will be the magic one. So once again, a stacked lineup. Crossland leads the way in qualifying so far in order. Crossy, Lawrence, Macrolos, Clark, Richards, Rowe, Fodado, Ichikawa, Carson, Dugdale, Worcester. Man, I tell you what, we're in for a treat here tonight, Davo. I think with the GD3s especially, obviously, numbers ever consistent. I mean, the Hypers will be special because I think they're really suited to this track, but just the sheer numbers, I think the battles are going to be good. So 43 with an O, the first flyer for Harry Lawrence here sees him provisionally go to the top, but watch these magenta sectors start lighting up now, Davo.
Yeah, as those tyres come up to temp, these guys get in the groove, time ticking away quickly, but more than enough time for these guys to get a couple of good, solid laps in here. J-Man, Isaac, like we mentioned, back on track, off from commentary duty and behind the wheel. Good to see him actually carrying the Mr. Grippy sponsorship, one of the sponsors of the series, as is Sim Blacks, Crossy 43, and who else is there in that? Of course, MATCHFIT Entertainment.
Crossland, his predicted's definitely going to improve on that number. He goes a 41 with the 2, but what does Harry Lawrence do? Okay, Harry Lawrence was a 41 with an 8, so he's a little bit squirrely out of the exit. I noticed Crossy owned the middle sector. Matty Clark was the big improver, though. Goes in there, 41.
Row
with a
as
sneak.
well, J-Man
Yep.
just sneaking into that top 3 as well with Magenta middle sector as well, so good solid lap from Row.
Has Rowe tuned up that paintwork on that car? Davo?
Yeah, I think it was it was like that last week, but it's a stunning looking car with the pinstripes there. We don't want to put the mocker on him there, just a little
Not just yet, no.
little bit of a snaky exit out of, I think that is 2 or 3. There's a couple of little kinks here in the track. They might call us corners there, but yeah, stunning looking car there. The black Chevy Corvette, J-Man, no need. Crossing with magenta sectors. Again, Lawrence with magenta sectors as well.
Yeah, unfortunate, Robbie. We'll miss you out there tonight, mate.
Isaac Ichikawa also hitting the magenta. Crossland probably down a little bit in that middle sector. What's he got?
41 with a 4, so a couple of tenths away for Crossy that one, and Harry Lawrence improved, 41 with a 3, so
Nice.
Crossy still leads the way. I'm interested to see.
Let's see where Isaac just sneaks in here,
Oh,
J-Man.
Gunther Rowe to the top.
Just out of nowhere. Look at that final sector though. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Literally half a second quicker than
Yeah,
Ichikawa
very
just cut off there. So again, it's like the quieter T-Roll Gunther at the moment, eh? He just like doesn't really show his cards till a little bit later either in the race and or in qualifying. So, you know, just chilling out there with his pinstripes on, you know.
Yeah.
Nice work. Crossan still pushing. Isaac after a very tidy last lap on it. Lawrence is wanting to improve. Clark with the magenta first sector there, J-Man.
So 1, 2, 3 is Gunther Rowe, Steve Cross, and Isaac Ichikawa at the moment. Wouldn't put money that it stays in that order. Harry Lawrence once again sideways out of turn 16, just really struggling to get all that power down of the Aston Martin on exit. Very quick in there, but just a little loose on exit. He is green, so look for improvement here. 40.9.
Yeah. Making it happen.
Matty Clark now,
Right.
40.8.
Well, I did sort of see that coming. I was chasing his name there. I clicked. So he went from, I think, 5th position to 1st just then.
Yeah, Isaac Ichikawa just took
Oh,
it.
and then Ichikawa's there. So
Yeah,
I went
with
to
a 7.
I went to click on Clark's car, ended up with Ichikawa's car because Clarky went to the top, and here we are. Isaac chasing down Matthew Clark. Hasn't this got spicy in qualifying, J-Man? Look, we've only got 30 odd seconds to go.
Yeah, and
Woo.
Clarky's parked it. We're only, like you say, 30 seconds. Who's still in it? Croston, not so good through sector 1. Harry Lawrence, though, he's got a green by his first sector. Not so good in the middle.
Where is Gunther here in all of this mix here? A little bit down on his
Gunther
first
was
sector.
in first position not so long ago.
I know.
He's-
I tell you what, like I said, the qualifying got spicy very quickly.
the clock runs 0.
Sector 2 for Isaac up again on his time.
He's feeling it in the Mr. Grippy
Oh, there
Mustang.
goes Rowe. There goes Rowe. Then we got Rowe, Lawrence, What just happened there?
No, Rose just approaching the line now for his final lap. He's
Okay,
green in the middle sector.
Hang on. Yep. It's me clicking the wrong buttons. Wow. There you go.
So no improvement for Gunther. He was very, very close to his ideal time, though. Harry Lawrence, though, takes it at the back end, 40 with a 6.
Wow. So, Harry Lawrence, Isaac Ichikawa, Matthew Clark, Steve Crossan with the timer out. I think he's on track here.
Yeah, who we still got going?
Reed's out on track.
Reed, no, Reed's about to come through. He's got a couple of not so ideal sectors according to this, but approaching the line, it looks close.
There you go.
Okay, does improve. 41 with a 4 to go. P7 behind Gunther Rowe. Just pips Shane Fodderdo.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance there from the boys. Let me see whether we can get a sneaky little. Let's see if this works.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
There you go. I think we made it work. Yes, we did. We have the grid there now on screen, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe. Yes, we do. You can see the hypers there with the red slash beside their names. So nice work from the boys. There is the top 10. And we are about to go green. So we are going to just quickly just have a very, very brief look at the points, ladies and gentlemen. Hypercars, obviously, first and foremost, as always, Nathan Bewley, after 6 rounds. Leads the way with 218 points with a sizable gap back to the rest of the field. Fraser in second, Dixon, George Goddard, Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Tagg, Jason Bone, all vying, well, back down to probably the top 6 there, all vying. Look at Goddard and Mitchell, equal points there. So yep. Watch that space, FYI. Quickly into the GT3 class. Noah Reed, last car out on track in qualifying, and probably not where he wants to be. But just look at that points grab that he's got there after 6 rounds in that Porsche. So do not count that man out. Matty Clark tucked in behind there in another Porsche. Gunther Rowe in the Chevy. Pete Dawson out tonight. Unfortunately, Harry Lawrence, who we just saw shine in qualifying. Then we have Richards, Macaloss, Steve Crossan, Sam Carson, Ken Dugdale. Rounding out the top 10, and the list goes on. Shane Fodderdo, Joseph Marnie, Phil Davison, Aidan Kafeki, Kenneth Worcester, Isaac Ichikawa, Ian Henderson, Jason Morris, Mr. Rue, Adrian Kramer, but wait, there is actually more. There is a few more tacked on the back of that, and a free set of steak knives for everybody that wants to join in. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about go green here tonight as the boys start to roll away for what it will be a very short little formation here out of the final corner here onto this massively, you could land a plane on this, I tell ya. 5 Harpers out on track there.
18 GD3s. Yep.
Yes, leading the GT3s, but look at that mass of GT class cars in the background, led by Lawrence and Ichikawa, Matty Clark, Steve Crossland, Martin Richards. Jamie, are you ready for this? What have we got on track here? 23, I think we got. 23 cars. So nice turnout.
Green flag, green flag.
Goddard look to attack straight away. Might have a run down here out of 1 as well, down to 2. He's going to be on the wrong side.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Oh, and a bit of a squeeze there. He he looked like he wanted it right to the last second, J-Man. And
Yep.
again, this is what we talk about Fuji. Look at the grip these guys have got. Nice, big, open track. These cars work amazingly when they can get some corner speed up on them. The aero really starts to work, doesn't it, J-Man? True Formula One hypercar style back this. I think we might have seen one. Who did somebody snack off in the background there? It might have been Jason Bone. Yeah, he's going backwards there.
Off. Still coming to terms with the hyper. Is Jason Bone. Needs to stick with it though. Persistence will pay off. And I tell you what, Ichikawa is really giving Harry Lawrence something to think about here, Davo.
Yes, he would. We will just pick up on that as the hypers get up into that back complex of corners and finalise that lap. And look how close. Ichikawa is in the Mustang, tailing the Aston Martin of Harry Lawrence there, J-Man.
We'll get a read on the horsepower stakes now. There's plenty of time down the front straight here for them to work out who's good in a straight line. And I tell you what, Isaac is certainly tucked up underneath the wing late in the piece. Does he pull out under brakes? Stays with it. Stays in the wheel tracks.
Are we already seeing the conservation, J-Man?
Potentially.
No read. Martin Richards, Shane Fronto, Gunther Rome, Matthew Clark and Steve Crossland all tucked in behind the two at the top. Ichikawa just dropping back there a little bit. Maybe the Aston a little bit tidier through the first couple of sectors of the circuit.
So
Goddard going with Bewley,
Goddard
J-Man.
back to it. Yeah, he's definitely going with Nathan Bewley here. And like super close. So he's obviously comfortable at the moment to run that close. And you got to remember the speeds these guys are going. That is phenomenal. So
concentration literally maxed out, isn't it? Stuff like that.
Bewley's car looks good in a straight line. Around 307 kilometres an hour, just clipped down the front straight for Nathan Bewley. I'll get a read on Goddard next time through. He was on the wheel track, so he didn't look to have any more. So anyway, once again, Ichikawa. He's back in the wheel tracks once again of Harry Lawrence on the front straight. Was happy to sit there last time through. Will he do it again?
He does. It definitely sounds like he's rolling out of it there, Jay.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful. I mean, he's got Crossland and one of the other Astons there, the Simblacks number 43 car. So he will be well aware of that. Look what's going on in the background there. Makalos, Richards, and Carson. J-Man. Just wonder whether we... some yellow flag moments back there. not showing that actually, but we do have some overtakes there. Morgan Gibbs past Worcester and Marnie past Reed, or Reed past Marnie, I think it is.
Yep.
So plenty going on. And here comes Macrolos. Sorry, J-Man.
You're right. You're
On Martin here, Martin Richards. Oh, and they still going at it. There's contact between the two. They're both still pointing in the right direction. Carso, lucky not to get tangled up in that.
Chikawa around the outside. Sorry, mate, to pull you away from that, but it just got super busy with Crossland, Lawrence, Clark, and Ichikawa, and Ichikawa put a move on.
Oh, yeah, and we just as we picked the cameras up on that, it looked like Kossi wanted to go with their with Ichikawa there.
Yep.
Got a little bit gun shy on the back of Lawrence's car. Put Matt Clark in the picture, and he now look at this side by side. Those two.
And Matty just having nothing to defend with against the Aston Martin there. But I'll tell you what, for me, Ichikawa and Harry Lawrence were out there at 2.7% VE usage the lap before. Ichikawa, now he's dropped the hammer, went straight to a 3.1% usage for that lap. So he was definitely on the conservative side of things prior to making that pass. So
yeah,
and again, just obviously watch that.
Yeah, we're just picking up on the replay there, J-Man, and again, like I did talk about this, whether the Aston, well, particularly Lawrence's Aston, was comfortable in the final sector. Clearly not. Ichikawa, like you can just see on the replay there around the outside, and you could clearly see that that Crossland just getting impeded ever so slightly out of the final, into the final corner. Allowed Matthew Clark to attack, but Matty Clark, he did just get out of that down the straight. The grunt of the Aston, he had nothing for it. He was quite happy to let Crossland back through and carry on. Now, who we got in the background? Gunther and Shane Fotido in one of the only, if not the only, Mercedes in the race here. Costas Makalos in the background, Martin Richards, those guys have had a bit of a ding-dong already. Sam Carson with the box. No, Reed, still not probably where he wants to be in this race. Wow, it's on.
Yeah. So Ken Worcester up 7 spots too, mate, as well in the Tokyo Taxi. Just come through on Jason Morris in the recent past as well. So well done, Wheels. He's on the march to be up there with also Fotido and Macrolos to be the big movers as well. Obviously, Ichikawa's done a nice job. Just creating a little air gap at the moment. It's got around 0.8 of a second to does bridge out to about a second every now and then, but he's just super solid in this final sector, Davo.
The train that is Lawrence, Crossland, Clark. Again, very close quarter racing. We saw it with Bewley and Goddard earlier on. Bewley just now really showing his strength, that focus and that speed that we're coming to get used to. We really are. Again, Goddard, like you said at the top of the broadcast, J-Man, probably the only one that can really take it to Bewley.
Bewley gone for this option tyre strategy once again, so he's got a hard front left, has Nathan, so he's expecting that that one there is going to be the wear tyre, and you know he's trying to manage that. There's a fair old distance to go on it, so it's interesting that it hasn't hindered his pace. He's out there, he's the fastest man on circuit, 29. with an 8.7 for Nathan Bewley to be the fastest hyper out there. Ichikawa, no surprise that he's the fastest GT3 out there at the moment, 41.5.
Yeah.
And Crossland through on Harry Lawrence also. So
oh, definitely. Yeah, just getting back up to the point again there. We are not even 10 minutes into this race. Just shows you how quick the hypers are around here, J-Man. Seriously, how quickly have they come up behind these boys? Wow. 9.5 minutes. And they're lapping the back half of the GT pack. So very, very quick pace. That is Fuji in a hyper, isn't it, brother?
Yeah, and a lot of space here tonight too as well. Fuji is going to offer plenty of opportunity for these guys to really use the pace of those cars. Obviously, if they catch them on the front straight, it's absolutely a no-brainer. They're just going to sail on past. But we can just see Nathan Bewley now threading the needle in between Ken Worcester and Jason Morris as well. So a little bit held up behind Ken Worcester there. Just caught him at an awkward section. The GT3s do have a good brake package. As well as those sort of slower, as we just see Morris go around there.
Morris, yeah, just a little tag on the side of the Lexus of Worcester there, J-Man. But like you're mentioning, there's so much space on these tracks for the hypers, even as they try and navigate those GT3 class cars. They've just got the room to do it, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see.
Sorry, mate. Just that little interruption, I think, for Goddard to clear those two GT cars has actually allowed Fraser just to sneak up a little bit as well, J-Man.
Yeah, he's bridged that down 1.2 seconds, so it was certainly favourable. So, gains and losses. Obviously, they've got to negotiate their way through, and that was certainly favourable that time through for Chris Fraser. Hayden Teague, I think, didn't get the worst run through as well. So, but I was going to pick up on the performance at the moment, early stages here. Shane Foddo hanging on with Costas. Actually, through on Costas? That might have been a positional there. Shane Foddo.
Oh, it is too, yes. Let us see if we can pick up on a replay of that one, J-Man.
So, even in these early stages, Davo, we can already see Harry Lawrence, a bit of a magician there with the energy. He's already starting to make 0.5% to 1% over his competitors up in front, Steve Crossan and Ichikawa. And I think Matty Clark also very, very good through the tighter stuff and obviously suffers for a little bit of straight line. But I just wonder whether he's actually just making a little bit of energy. He was pretty efficient. Last lap through, he matched Harry Lawrence's 2.8% usage as well. So maybe just a couple opportunities for Matty just to roll out. It certainly won't be the front straight, but I think it could be a couple of areas where he knows he's good with the cadence braking and the mid-corner stuff that he could maybe just roll out and let the car just coast in. As we see his proximity at the moment to the back of Harry Lawrence is very, very close. So good battle in the back there. Who was that? Okay, so that's obviously Jason Bone recovering through, coming past Shane Foddo.
Yeah.
Try and round up
and
Gunther Rope.
There's another hyper there. Is that
Nathan Bewley?
That is Bewley coming around already. So no, Shane Foddo and Costas have not changed positions as of yet through the race. However, Costas has caught Shane very, very quickly. I think the last time we picked up on any interaction with Costas Makalos was with Martin in the Lamborghini with a little bit of contact there with Calso in the background. So those cars are spread out. Costas on the march here, J-Man.
Yeah, and look at this battle as well with Fraser and Goddard.
That's just popped them all up, hasn't it?
Massively, yeah. And even the gap to Bewley's now back to 1.9. It had stretched out further than that. So just as they come through. It's going to be a to and fro battle, I feel, tonight, every time they circulate, just as to where they catch them and how far they get through. I mean, just looking at Teg's run there around the outside of Richards was beautiful. Used all the aero available to him. Read that like a book.
Just getting a bit of onboard here from Goddard's car here. So he's chasing Bewley. You can see him clearly in front, but just they are coming through the top end of the GT class field here. And these guys are in a race of their own. Very competitive top 5 or 6 there with the GTs at the moment. And so that's, like you said, these guys aren't no slouches. So the Hypers having to work a little bit harder. This is bunching them up a little bit. Bewley has cleared. He's off and away. Goddard and Fraser have definitely got closer together. And Teggles, not that far back, J-Man. He's got to navigate now. I think that is... Who's he first coming up? Clark. So
Clark.
Fortuitously, he's going to come up on Clark. And probably Lawrence here on the straight. Bam, gets it done.
Yeah, that was nice. And you can see the performance there. Harry Lawrence under brakes.
Yeah.
Right with Teg then, I think it was. So
It was, yes.
Yeah, so that tightens it up. However, 3.6 is the margin again for Bewley over Goddard, just as they clear traffic for another, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes or so.
Yep.
Then he'll get to lay down the laps and
Pretty much,
it'll all
that's
sort of settle itself out. However, the Goddard-Fraser battle's a good one. 1.4 seconds the difference between those two. Another 3.8 back to Teg. Ichikawa had built out to about 1.1 seconds during that exchange, but as quick as the Hypers are, Davo, they can certainly upset the apex lines for the GT3 cars, and I think that may have been what happened to Ichikawa out of the final turn the lap before, because all of a sudden it's back down to just over 7 tenths, so blew out the better part of 4 tenths in the final sector. So pretty cool stuff to see that, you know, it obviously, you know, it's beneficial or not for both classes, depending on where they end up, because we saw the way that I think it was Chris Fraser snuck down the inside of Matty Clark, and it kind of took Matty Clark's ability to turn down to the apex away, because all of a sudden there was a Hyper up the inside. So
yeah, true that.
Cool stuff.
As we just pick up on a replay, this is Crossan actually running past Lawrence, J-Man, which we just sort of missed in the background as we were watching the Hypers. But Lawrence not contesting that move from Crossan whatsoever. Crossan with the draft, gets the car on the inside. Very simple pass. With Lawrence just yielding. Look, and we talk about this every week. Is the conserve game going on already? Yeah,
Absolutely. He's just dropped it to 71%. Ichikawa and Crossan already on 69. They're shortly about to fall into the 68% category. If I have a look, we've got 68.6 for Crossan already. For Ichikawa, sorry, 68.2 for Crossan, and we've still got 69.9 for Harry Lawrence. So he's already made over 1% on these boys already by sort of just doing what he's doing. And, you know, we see Sue chime in every now and then and just say, you know, he's a bit of a magician at that. And look, these guys are out there, got so much to think about. You know, there's not only the VE to think about, they're working on their race pace, the overall race run distance, the tyres, the whole shebang. There's so much going on. And, I mean, the Hyper's no exception, Davo. These guys are in the same boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out there, absolutely just giving it. I mean, Bewley does a beautiful job. You can see him up there, 69%, with a 4.9 second margin. So, you know, if he needs to roll out and make some energy, he's got the time already. So, pretty cool.
Reed on Carson in the background there.
Yeah, see Noah Reed there. kind of work.
Yeah, look, up and
Carson
down,
with
Ray.
good drive.
Reed's car looks like it might have a little bit of damage on the front of it as well. So not ideal qualifying for Reed, and quite possibly not ideal race so far, J-Man. We are, what are we are, nearly 20 minutes in now.
The numbers are fantastic as well, Dave. I'll quote you the last laps there. 41.8 for Ichikawa, 42.2 for Croston, 41.8 for Harry Lawrence, 42.0 for Clark, 42.3 for Fodado, 41.8 for Martin Richards. So he's on literally class-leading pace right now as well. So he's chasing down Macrolos and Fodado. 42.0 for Noah Reid. So that car hasn't lost a ton of pace, the Noah Reid car. He's just, unfortunately, doesn't have the best track position right now. So as far as Noah Reid's concerned, where is he at energy stakes? I'll just get a read on that. He is...
Tower as well there.
So he's just jumped into the 62s. So he's comparable to some of the guys around him. However, Ichikawa Croston still only just dropped down into the 63s. So it shows when you got to work hard down the mid-pack, or, you know, a little bit harder than you'd like to. But you're right, I think that thing is carrying a couple of scuff marks on the front splitter, Davo. So that will be hurting what is already probably a pretty sore point on the front straight. The Porsche, not most efficient.
Not the fastest thing in a straight line, is it?
No.
Okay, Macrolos, J-Man, is becoming a little bit of a thorn in Shane's rear. What a better term. Costas has chased him down with Martin Richards actually in tow, and well in touch as well in the Lamborghini there. And as they wind their way through this toing and froing that is the final complex, the final sector really on this track. Very
yeah, everything from
stuff.
turn 10,
Yeah,
Davo.
it's
From
amazing.
turn 10 up to turn 16 is looks like a lot of hard work.
It does, it does. And our Macrolos, you can actually see a little bit of paint off on the front of the Macrolos car too.
Yes, you can.
We did see that thing get tangled up with Martin Richards' car a little earlier in the race. Boys still pointing in the right direction, and still nose to tail pretty much. But here comes the McLaren. On Shane Fodado. Shane covers J-Man.
Yeah, he did a nice job in and out there of turn 1, did Shane, just to manage that position. And then currently sitting 7th in class and 11th outright. So the 7 seconds is the margin now. Nathan Bewley over George Goddard, another 4.2 back to Chris Fraser, and another 3.8 back to Hayden Tegg. So that is your top 4 hypers. There is another one out there. It is Jason Bones, currently sitting 14th outright at the moment, trying to get his head around the whole hyper situation as he comes up on the back of Noah Reid. And look, he has come past these guys a couple of times already, but unfortunately just succumbs to a little bit of just working out how to get all that power down, and has faced the wrong way a couple of times already tonight. So applaud him for sticking with it.
He's getting plenty of practice about with coming through a GT class field, that's for sure. A little bit of over exuberance here and there, I suspect, from Jason. But look, practice makes perfect, J-Man. And Costas will be thinking that very thought. He's been chasing down Shane for the last few laps here. And I think I do think he's got Shane's measure here, but where on the track does he pounce?
Yeah, I think for me, he does look very, very good down into turn 10, 11, and 12 through the little tight chicane heading into that final sector we just spoke about. He looks very, very good down through there. However, you kind of still need a mistake from the guy in front because it's a little bit one line through that first phase.
It is.
And then I think there's an opportunity maybe up the inside of turn 15.
Yeah,
so we're in that spot, heading to that spot now.
Yep,
heading down there.
Down the hill, down into... It's 10 down at the bottom of the hill here, J-Man, is it?
Yep.
But look, Rowe has come back to him, so has Gunther had a little bit of a mischief there. Because they... Look how close he is. We're just looking out of the windscreen. I think that of Costa's Macalos's car. And Rowe, very large in the cameras there. We look over the rear wing of Costa's car. That is Martin Richards and well in touch. Jason Bone in the background as well. And the Noah Reid Porsche, J-Man. So, this is going to spice up in the mid-pack here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Bone gets the hypo right out wide. He's going to take 4 of them here.
Yeah, he put them in a nice spot actually, the Jason. So I dare say he won't get. I was going to say, does he get? Yeah, he got Gunther as well. Gunther.
So we're just going to get over the rear wing of the Chevy at the moment because the boys behind him, this trio behind him, have really bunched up tight. Shane playing, I suspect, a little defensive. Oh, Shane with a
loses the rear.
Good catch. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, would have caught his attention as Martin Richards dives to the inside at the hairpin. Down there at turn 6.
It's a good solid look at it.
And here comes Nathan Bewley again.
Now look, I was just trying to chase a replay actually of that little slip up from Shane, and given his recovery, it literally has not even shown up on our data as a replay worthy item.
I tell you what should show up is Isaac Ichikawa going from 1st to 3rd, Dave.
Okay, that's interesting. We just pick up on... Oh, no. Wonder what happened there, J-Man. Bewley just trying to duck that thing. The Aston.
Underneath Macrolos.
Oh, very, very close. But we're going to pick up on it. So, first cab off the rank was obviously Crossland here. Just going to see what happens here with Ichikawa. Just runs a little bit deep down at 10 there, J-Man. Oh, look, I think he was a bit gun-shy just on his re-entry there. He literally just propped that car in fear of hitting, I think, the Crossland car there. It's allowed Lawrence to sneak past immediately.
Yep.
And now he's got to deal with Clark. Wow, there you go. The slightest of mistakes. A run deep. Didn't even actually exit the track at all.
And here comes Bewley rounding those boys up as we speak. So through on Ichikawa. Catches right up to the back of Harry Lawrence through this very much one-line part of the racetrack.
Tucks it in. Crossland.
Yeah, it certainly had that look about it.
Now leading the GT class cars there, J-Man. So nice work from Crossland. We won't praise him too much. We won't give him too much airtime. We don't want to put the mocker on him. But look, we must applaud Steve Crossland in the 43. The official Simblacks number 43, Aston Martin. So go well, Crossy, with the big number 1 on the side of that car. Moment, Harry Lawrence in tow in another Aston Ichikawa. Slide us a slip ups there a lap or so ago. Has put him down a couple of spots. Matty Clark.
Teggles to the pits too, mate. Sorry, I just saw the gap really
okay,
close
there you
between
go.
Teggles and Chris Fraser, and just noticed that yeah, Hayden had gone to the pit lane. So get a read on that pit time. I'll just bring that up for myself to be able to. Okay, so he was a 13.6 on the jacks, which is going to see him get a total time out of the lane around about 44 seconds.
I'm going to pick up on a read. Martin Richards on Shane Frodo. First J-Man. Nora Reid very much in this mix here. I think both of the boys get Shane here. Shane covers into one here in the replay. Runs deep. Richards straight through. Oh,
yeah.
Damn. That was just a whisker between the Porsche and the Mercedes there, just as one of the hypers of, I think it's the hyper of Goddard, actually sneaked into that mix there, and didn't that get intense? Wow.
But also for Reedy to hold his nerve there and stay with it through.
Nice work from Reed. There was a lot going on there. So well done from all the drivers, actually, to be honest, J-Man. Fondo included after, again, a slight mistake.
So Fraser rounds up Ichikawa and Harry Lawrence, and I'll tell you what, that pack is bunching again. So Ichikawa on the recovery.
Fraser, damn, that thing had some pace there. I thought he was going to go around the outside across on there, the same move. Not quite, but damn, it was close. But past again. Where is Goddard? He's dropped back a little bit.
Harry Lawrence just missed the apex down at 10 there. And it's really gotten Isaac Ichikawa pretty incentivized about it, and he's right on him. Still a couple of percent better off in the energy department as Harry Lawrence, and he knows that'll be a number of seconds better off in the pit lane once they make this exchange. He's in a good solid position. He's only 8.5 tenths off of the back of Crossland, and I've got to quote the number for Ichikawa. You can see it on screen. He's reading the part number.
And he's well out of the throttle there, J-Man.
Yeah,
well out of the throttle before the braking area there as we just pull the VE up on the tower there for the viewers, J-Man, to understand what these guys are doing.
Is that Bone having a moment? Yep, he's in the fence again. He's doing so much good work.
Just having a bit of a laugh at Elvis. Just reminding us not to show the Crossland car ever again. We're feeling you, brother. We're feeling you. We get it.
So Elvis, newly signed in as the performance enhancing coach for Steve Crossland, and as I just say that.
No. We weren't even talking about him, were we? Well, we were a little bit.
I reckon that came off the back of Elvis's comments there.
Okay, we're going to play Elvis. We're going to play Elvis.
It was just too much Crossy focus. Back to Harry Lawrence and Isaac Ichikawa. How's that?
That is going on, isn't it? Look, spectacular to watch as always. Both of these drivers. Oh, how close does it get?
Isaac must be lifting, surely.
Well, they don't.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Of course
Yeah,
he
for
is.
sure.
Because we know that it is frowned upon to, very much so in the series, to bump draft. So you will not see any of such shenanigans going on here at Rainline Racing in the LMU series. Yep. But look, clearly, J-Man, you picking up on it again there. Isaac well off the throttle in the Mustang. They're just staying tucked in behind. So it is a VE fuel game here. Very much so. And we love that. We love the bit of strategy, don't we, my friend? Where's Matthew Clark? I think we still got the VE actually up on our tower at the moment. So you, the viewers, can actually sort of get a bit of a read on it there, on what's going on. But J-Man might be able to fill us in there a little bit on where the boys are at the moment.
Yeah, so as far as Bewley's concerned, if we start up at the top at the hypers, he's got a comfortable 2% over Goddard. Fraser's done a nice job managing his. Hayden Teague's out of sequence. He's 71% remaining. He's obviously 4th in class at the moment, and a reasonable, what is he? He's the better part of 40 seconds behind Fraser. Another 7-7, another 18. So we know it takes around about that 40. I think if we looked, it took around about 45.2 seconds to transit. So I think based on the number, he's still in a very good fight with Chris Fraser. And they were very, very close when they came in, so I'm not surprised about that. Nathan Bewley's just doing a stellar job at the front. Crossland, though, however, when we pick on the GT3 cars, Crossland 37%, so versus Harry Lawrence's 40%. So that is just time burnt in the pit lane. Is, oh my gosh, just watching Matty Clark live at the moment.
Yes, J-Man. Yeah. Wow, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was close.
So Crossland 36, Harry Lawrence 39%, 37% apiece for Ichikawa and Clark, 35% for Gunther Rowe. Macrolos doing okay, 36%. Reedy's car, I saw it really early in the piece and thought that thing was burning up a fair amount of airs. We have contact down the back with Hayden Teague, Martin Richards and Noah Reed. It's a whole lot of malarkey going on down there. Dave, if you don't know if you want to go and have a little bit of an unpack of that and see what went on there, but there was a hyper involved with a GT, a couple of GT cars, and that's probably going to undo some of the good work on the big undercut situation that Hayden Teague was working with.
Sorry, just picking up on that. That was Teague actually past Martin Richards on a deep braking move, actually tagged the back of Costas Makalos's car there. It's just showing up on the replay there, J-Man. Very lucky, actually, for all of those drivers. That could have been way worse there. So, but Teague's had the peace of mind. He knew he was too deep. Really did arrest the speed in that car. But just a little bit of contact for Teggles there, but hasn't bit of contact for Teggles and Costas there, but doesn't look like it slowed Costas down, J-Man. Look at him on Gunther Rowe still.
Yep, he's right there. So I don't think it upset him too much, man. I'm absolutely in awe of the pace of the front four at the moment in the GT class. Steve Cross and Harry Lawrence, Ichikawa and Clark. However, in the recent past, I can tell you what, Matty Clark looks like he's really, really hanging on to the rears of that Porsche a couple of times throughout the lap. So just, I mean, we know his ability. He is special behind the wheel. But man, he looks like he's fighting really to hang on to these three guys in the front at the moment, as we see Teague in the background after that recovery, that incident earlier in the piece.
just out of the roof cam of young Matthew Clark there, and just looking, he's got a couple of Astons in front of him. There goes Teggles, a couple of Astons, and then a Mustang. And with those three in draft together, he's got nothing on him. They literally, even as close as he was to the back of Isaac's car there, they drove away from him. He actually rolled out of the throttle there too, mind you, J-Man. Even well back from the back of the Mustang, rolled off the throttle there. So Matthew Clark clearly conserving as well. These races, man, they are just long enough to have these guys thinking about some strategy, and we love it. 75-minute race here tonight. No compulsory pit stops because these boys will not make it on the juice. And here they are. That's probably the farthest I've seen those four apart.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Ichikawa there just fell a long way back there.
Yep. So you're talking about Matthew Clark struggling for tyre grip. Is Ichikawa, is the Mustang starting to fail him a little? Maybe in the front, not the rear.
Yeah, I had that look about a couple of times. Obviously, you picked up on the replay earlier where he came down to 10 and just completely outbroke himself and lost the lead. Went back to third position.
And then we saw Clark nearly get him around the outside there out of four, or whatever it was, the long right-hander there. So who's that running pit lane there? J-Man, that was a bit of a fake, I think, from Crossland.
Okay, so we've had some change arounds. Chris Fraser's now in the lead of the race. Nathan Billy's in second. Hayden Tegg in third. And I believe, just need to pick up on this and see how this looks. Goddard. Okay, I need to reach for the data sheet from the pit lane because our order is out of whack. So Hayden Tegg, okay, he's coming really, really early. And so Goddard was a 24-second stop, 57.4. Remember we quoted that Hayden Tegg stopped and he was around 45 seconds. So plus another 13 seconds for Goddard stop. So that was kind of snaggy. Come out with almost the same energy though. So one could say he either put too much or Hayden Tegg absolutely aced it because he's actually gone to P3 now. And got a little bit of margin over Goddard. Nathan Bewley, he stopped. He's slightly shorter on the energy required, but he was using less than these guys in front. So he's provisionally second. Chris Fraser still to stop, and I believe he is going to come out somewhere between Hayden Tegg and George Goddard based on the numbers. So Goddard does have good car pace, but he's got some work to do, Davo. So that is the first unpack, I guess, of the pit exchange between the hypers. So Fraser still got around about 30% left. So what does that mean? 30% left. Yeah, so his average is pretty good. He's got a 5-lap average of 2.5%. Bewley's is the most impressive. His and Goddard's 2.4. However, that'll be off the back of an in-lap, out-lap. So maybe not using up the most available as far as energy is concerned, Davo. So just watch that space, and we're starting to get the business end down into the 20-something% of energy in the GT3 cars. And look, not a lot has changed up the front. It is still Steve Crossan over Harry Lawrence and Isaac Ichikawa as they got George Goddard just running through the pack now.
Sneaking through there now.
Yep.
Well, actually, just really does scoop up Isaac and Lawrence very quickly. Actually scoops up Crossy in a pretty good spot there. So didn't slow him too much.
So he's got, what has he got? He's got 23 seconds to make up on Hayden Tegg. Hayden Tegg's 33 behind Bewley, and Bewley's only 12.5 behind Fraser, who still has to make his stop. So based on the numbers, I think very much at this point, I think Goddard has had something go astray there with his pit stop, and I think you're going to see Chris Fraser split the difference between Teg and Goddard. So that would put Chris Fraser in a podium position post pit stop if it was to if he was to go shortly. Now look at this, Ichikawa chasing Harry Lawrence down to the pit lane. Harry Lawrence definitely was going. He's in. So in early for Harry Lawrence. Come at you with the numbers, viewers, and Davo. Macrolos, I think, is he in as well? No. Must have just scootled down pit lane for a bit of side draft off the pit wall. There you go. 17.4 seconds on the jacks for Harry Lawrence, and asking for tyre temp already as he's leaving the pit lane. So,
well, there you go. So it is the run. It is the run. It's the last. What do we got? 29, a little over 29 minutes. Or a little under 30, should I say. Here, it is the run to the line. 45 minutes of racing complete so far. Is Lawrence, is this the big push? Has he got the juice? Good stop, J-Man, from Lawrence. Didn't look like there was any mistakes up, on, and off the jacks very sharply.
Yeah, look, 17.4 with a 50.4 overall. So if we have a look, he's the better part of 27 seconds behind Shane. Add 5 there, add another 1.7 there. So he knows he's going to be in the mix when he comes back out, no matter what the boys do. By way of how efficient that car was, he's likely this is a true undercut. So this is kind of the same thing that Hayden Tegg did. Makes me wonder, Hayden Tegg had that incident earlier on, how much better off he could have been. He's 35 seconds away from Burley, but
yeah, he's had some bad luck actually, Teggles, in the last couple of weeks there. The pace has been like sufficient, but just like really, just the cars just haven't fallen his way. There, it is getting very dark, and the headlights are well and truly on in these cars now, man. That will change the dynamic of this race as visibility gets down a little bit. Crossy again. We need to have a quick brief look at this car because it is leading the GT class as we speak. Lawrence, who was tucked in behind Steve Coughlin, we saw just recently into the pit lane. That is Isaac Ichikawa and Matty Clark, and here comes Chris Fraser. A bit snaggy spot for Fraser here. He's got to just bide his time here. I think they're just running into the final corner here now.
Yep.
Just had to wait there. Just got to be careful here. These boys, are they going to work into the pits? Oh, that was very awkward. That looked like Ichikawa and or both were going to roll into the pit lane there.
Well, Ichikawa
Ichikawa
definitely went in. Yep.
Wow, that was a little scary to watch. And I was only just talking up about how Fraser just caught him at the right time there.
So he's looking for 17.4 or better on the jacks, and remembering how efficient. Oh, 11.6.
Wow.
11.6. So he's the better part of 6 odd seconds faster on the jacks than Harry Lawrence. Where is Harry Lawrence?
Where is Lauren?
He's on the front straight.
So we get over the rear wing of Isaac Ichikawa's car.
That should be...
That was Teggles that just snuck past him in one of the hypers.
Yeah, so
Where is
Ichikawa's
he's
out.
got him. He's got him by a mile, J-Man. I can't even see him. We're looking over the rear wing of Ichikawa's car. We cannot see any headlights. If that is headlights in the background through one, that is Harry Lawrence, and he is well back, J-Man.
Well, and there's only a 1.2% difference in the energy.
That can make a difference, though.
So he bought a lot of track position, and I'll tell you what, he's either going to go incredibly close, because we know how Harry Lawrence works this stuff out. Sorry, Lisa, what's that? What does the yellow time mean? The yellow time. On the sectors?
On the timing tower there, what is that? That is, what are we
Okay.
on?
Would it be a track cut, maybe? Nathan Bewley on an absolute rip at the moment, Davo. He is only 7.8 seconds behind Chris Fraser, with Fraser still to stop as he rounds up Joseph Marnie, Sam Carson, Ian Henderson in the recent past. He is absolutely flying at the moment.
So not quite sure, J-Man, but on the tower we do see flashes of yellow in the timing. I'm just wondering whether that's the boys running across the sector timers and just giving us a little bit of a sneaky peek of their gains or losses in that particular sector. Let's also just have a quick sticky beak at positions gained and lost throughout the race. That's always interesting, as we literally only have 23 minutes and 50 seconds to run, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is down, the lights are on here at Fuji. Goddard coming up on the back of Harry Lawrence here in one of the hypers, so it is rapid. In one of the Peugeots here, and again Goddard. Seen this the last couple of laps here. We saw with Fraser just catching these GT cars.
Awkward.
In this final sector. And again, there it is, out of that final corner there. They ducked to the inside, but we saw it with Ichikawa and Crossland there earlier. Really did impede the GT's entry into the pit lane. So tricky stuff.
So, give you an idea on that margin too for Ichikawa and co. So, Matty Clark did a stunning job in the pit exchange as well. He's ahead of Ichikawa.
He's ahead as well, yeah.
Yep. Yep. And with slightly more energy as well. So that is a tight battle. There's only a second separating those two cars. Isaac Ichikawa and Harry Lawrence is coming. 42 with a 0 last lap through versus Ichikawa's 43.3. So there you can see it, 1.3 seconds the difference on the car pace between Ichikawa and Harry Lawrence. So he's going to have a little bit to think about going forward. We still have got Steve Crossland out there. He just lapped at a 42.6. He's got about 8.5% VE remaining. He's currently burning per lap 2.7%. So he's got a couple. He's got a couple left in it safely before he's got to come in and bet your bottom dollar he'll be a factor in this. Gunther Rowe has done a nice job. He's just ahead of Costas Makrolos.
Look,
and
again,
Noah Reid.
Silent Achiever, J-Man, literally has really not shown up on our radar. Just driven this race pretty much all by his lonesome. And sitting in a fantastic position. Well, he's in second. Costas around the outside.
Dane Faraday with a 16-second on the jack stop. So that's going to be interesting to see where that places him against the likes of Martin Richards And I think when they come out, also Costas Makrolos and Noah Reid, because he was very much part of that battle for the better portion of this race. Costas Makrolos and Noah Reid, Davo really starting to put the heat on Gunther Rowe leading up to this final exchange. Who's on 3.1%? That's Noah Reid. He's really got to think about going. He's in there on a 3%
Has he got
average.
another lap in it?
Oh, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
He's got to duck off here. He's gonna. Oh, there he goes. Reid.
And that's Ian Henderson coming in with him.
Yeah. That might have slowed Reid's progress there a little bit. Henderson, a little conservative on the entry there.
Oh, awkward pit entry for Noah Reid as well.
Just their boxes there.
Yep.
Nose to tail. Tricky stuff, man. There's Clark. Sails on board. Ichikawa, Lawrence, and Shane Frodeno. Oh, actually, Shane's still in that final complex of corners here.
Yeah, Harry Lawrence has bridged this gap. It was 4.5 seconds. It's now 9.5 tenths to Ichikawa, with Chris Fraser splitting the difference at the moment, coming through down into 1. But Matty Clark, he's got 2.5 seconds over these boys, and I think that's going to give Steve Crossan something to think about. Crossy, 4% remaining. He's probably going to have to come in, just try and pick up where he is on track. He probably could get one more done if he needs it, but I tell you what, he's got a lot more to put on than these boys. Well, he's got, you know, he's obviously out there for longer, so less requirement as far as the remaining time of the race, but that car wasn't the most efficient. As he comes in the lane, gets it down on the limiter. This is going to be fascinating just to see where Matty Clark, Ichikawa and Harry Lawrence stack up against Crossan. Does the overcut play dividends here for the 43 car, the Sim Blacks, the official Crossy 43? Matt's in a nice position. He's just got Nathan Bewley just going to round him up as they come out onto the final strip. Remembering Steve Crossan is in the lane. He's off the jacks. He's out. What was the time? Okay, Crossan was a 14.4 on the jacks. I reckon this will be tight between Crossan and Matty Clark.
Oh, very close. Clark only just passed.
Yep.
Crossan follows Matthew into T1 there.
Oh, and Harry Lawrence on Ichikawa.
It is on. We've seen this week in, week out. It's gonna ramp up. We're getting used to this, J-Man. Lisa Tegg, I will look into what the yellow timing is on our tower there, and I will get back to you about that one. I will have more information. Stand by, caller. But that has well ramped up. Again, these guys, the pit stops, J-Man, the 1%ers, the slightest gains, the slightest mistakes can be made in that pit lane.
Tell you what,
Gunther and Noah Reid coming around to a Jason Spect in the BMW after a little sneaky spin. Just found that BMW mid-track and not moving too quickly. Both those boys lucky to get around that car, actually. Reid and So very tricky stuff for the boys there.
Here comes Costas out the lane as well. So is he going to factor in?
So where's he popped out there? He's coming
I'm
out
just
in
trying to see where
totally
he's popped
clean
out.
air there.
Yeah, he's
who's
tucked in
that?
behind Noah Reid.
Okay, so that was somebody there. Oh, so he's gone in front of Reid, actually, J-Man.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that was the blue Porsche.
No. Reid's in front of Gunther Rowe.
Yes.
So Fraser,
well done on
2.7%. Basically got to come pretty much this lap as we see him come out the final turn. And this is the one that I said, how would this stack up with George Goddard? And I reckon George's pace has been good. It's around about... Ooh, actually, George Goddard, 64.8 seconds off the leader, which is Nathan Bewley, actually. So less 10 seconds, so 54. So we've got a fight on, I think, for the podium between Teggles, Chris Fraser. Goddard and Chris Fraser, sorry. As he gets off the jacks, what was he on there for? I can tell you. He was only on there for 10.2 seconds. Tegs through. Where is Georgie Goddard? He's still round the back. Oh no, so Fraser got out ahead of Teg, did he?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He did. And what has he got?
Only just though. And a quick flash of the headlights from Tegs there just to go, I seen you there, Chrissy.
I tell you what, we are set up for a showdown at the back end. Matty Clark leading the way over Steve Crossan and Harry Lawrence. And it's literally gloves off. I could tell you, Matty Clark's got a predicted 30.2% energy remaining. Sees him 9.4 laps to get home. That'll get him there. Steve Crossan, he's the same. Harry Lawrence, 28.2%, 8.9 laps remaining. So he's burning it up at the moment. He is letting it eat, so to speak.
So Teggles there, just ever so slightly held up as he was sneaking past the McLaren of Costas Makalos there. It's allowed Fraser, ever so slight respite.
1.3 seconds, the difference between Teg and Fraser. That's a good battle home as well, Davo.
Oh yeah, Tegs is on this, J-Man. I think you called it early. It just, although a little bit of a snaggy start to the race, I think he's played the pit stop perfectly, hasn't he?
He has. So Nathan Bewley, 22.7% remaining, 8.2 laps on the board, 41 of 49. He's good. Just. But 43.7 seconds, can afford to roll out if he needs to for the final couple.
So
but
Tegel
for me,
probably getting this pass as well on Ichikawa there. And look, the boys are going to come up. They're going to come up right on this big group of cars here. So this is the lead pack again. This is where it gets a bit tricky because these guys, the GT class guys, are quick. They are in a fight of their own here. And this is probably out of the GT class of cars.
Look at Teague trying to go around the outside here.
Oh man, he got really vulnerable there. Look at Crossland. Wide.
3 wide.
Oh my. Teggles way
he
out.
He's just like, way out of it.
You guys can have the track. I'm going out here. David, it's on.
Yep. Picks up a bit of toe from Matty Clark from measure as well as he gets down there.
Well,
Carries on that fight, but Harry Lawrence...
I was just going to say that Tegs was probably getting a better run through the field than Fraser, and then all that just happened. So, to Nathan Bewley.
Well, I mean, that was probably what Matty Clark didn't want. He would have wanted Crossy and Harry Lawrence to battle a little bit longer, but he's through now, and what can he do with it? We'll watch that with anticipation, because it is a 1.5 second margin. Yeah, wow. Matty will do a great job defending through all of Sector 1 and Sector 2, but I think that third sector, when they come out on the front straight, that one there is virtually undefendable if Harry gets in the wheel tracks on the front straight in time. We are lap 38 of a predicted 44. Never factor out as well Bewley's proximity to this field to see whether or not he makes them go one more. And I tell you what, based on the numbers, there's a fair few GT3 cars out there that cannot do one more. We've seen it before
on the replay there. Of the 3 wide there, Lawrence over Crossland with Tegs sneaking through in the hyper. Amazing to watch. Even the second time. Lawrence, J-Man, the punch from that Aston with Lawrence behind the wheel. Oh man, has Clark got it in him? Like seriously, how? We got 9
Harry
minutes.
Just ran a 41.5. Didn't get a read on Matty's time. He was a 41.7 for his personal best, but a 41.5 that time through for Harry Lawrence. Plays a 43.0. For Steve Crossland. So they've unfortunately dropped Crossland like a stone in the last half a lap. He's literally, the boys are gone. But like I mentioned, if I click on Harry Lawrence, 6.3 laps left of energy, 39 of 44. He's good. He's good to run home hard the way he is, but I don't reckon Matty will make it easy for him.
Yeah, probably not. Bewley leading the race, leading the hypers. Through on Shane Fodado. Won't be long. He'll be sneaking quickly through and will probably, maybe not lap the lead GT3 car again. Maybe, I don't know, J-Man. We've got what, just under 8 minutes to go. Whew. He's going past Fodado now. You can see Gunther Rowe already. Wow. It's all going on. Fraser sneaks past one of the Lexus. Tegs very, very much in touch here, J-Man.
There's a good fight going on between Hayden and Chris, and I think this one will go out to the end. Just looking at the energy, there's not a lot, 0.8% between them. And so they're both good to get home on this number. It'll be all about who gets what through the traffic and who can lay down these last, well, effectively 4 laps. But like I said, still a big question mark for me over the proximity of Nathan Bewley. He's around 45 seconds ahead of these boys. And whether he makes that clock go one more time.
And we have already seen it this season, haven't we, J-Man, where that car has gone a little bit too quick for some of the other drivers. And
so Matty
made them run another lap.
To Harry Lawrence.
So Bewley on the chart. Clark yields to Lawrence there.
Yep.
Yeah. He's playing a long game, J-Man. He's got to finish this race. It's all about the points now. He didn't make it easy, even though he left the door open. He still braked so late. That is gold. These boys. Fine effort.
George Goddard, the fastest hyper out there last lap. Currently running 4th and is effectively 19.8 seconds down on Tegan Fraser.
Yeah, he's well back, J-Man. Okay.
Oh, Ian Henderson, I just had a pick up there at the McLaren and the fence. It's unfortunate.
It's not ideal. The car still in the fence live here on the cameras. They're just picking it up there, J-Man. He's trying to get that thing out of the way. Gets it right across the track. Actually, not a bad move there.
Carson and Joseph Marnie, they're engaged in a good battle as well. So that is for 10th and 11th in class. Couple of V-dubs going at it. And I'm not sure if that's, yeah, it's Phil Davison. Just back a shot as well, I think. Oh, no, it's not.
No. He's tucked in behind Isaac, actually, and there goes really past Lawrence, blasting down across the start finish line at J-Man. So there's a reference for you.
Okay, so that is a reference.
4 minutes, and it was about 8 seconds. 4 minutes, 8 or 10 seconds left to go. Past Matt Clark, and I did question this whether we would see Bewley pass the leaders of the GT class again, and Archie is going nuts. Our biggest fan. I'll try and close that door a little bit more.
So this is important. This is important, really, because
it's past Lauren.
47 of 49.6 predicted for the hyper.
Yep.
Just see what that looks like as he comes around and crosses the line one more time with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah. He's not even out of the final corner yet here, J-Man. So he's gonna get this 2 more laps in.
Yeah, 2 more.
He's definitely going to get 2 more laps in.
Which is predictive. I thought if he had been close to 3 minutes at crossing the line to make it 3, it would have been a hell of a scene. But I think he's going to be okay here.
Yeah. So Bewley crosses the line, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a critical footnote in this race here. And just the way
does that get Chikawa to the pit lane?
Well, really? What? He's out of juice. No, he's not.
No, he's not out of juice. Not sure what's happened there.
Well, that's a very much unscheduled stop from Isaac, and
he's parked it. He's parked it.
So he's got
something else going on.
Something else going on. True that, yes. Well said, J-Man. However, Harry Lyons has got a win coming up. That's what he's got going on. Matty Clark in tow. And poor Steve Crossland, not too far behind in the official Simblacks number 43. Aston Martin. Where is Costas Makalos?
P4. Yep, P4. So he's in there. He's around about 10 seconds behind Crossy. So his probably nearest one is Noah Reid, who's 2.5 seconds behind him. So he's still got a little bit of work to do.
So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a bit of a read from Isaac there. Was it definitely a fuel load issue?
Yeah, not VE, just fuel.
Well, that's unusual. Rookie mistake, Isaac. Do better next time.
Too much time in the comms box.
Yeah,
He was
clearly.
so fast tonight. He was
Clearly.
so fast.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, we can't take away anything from the masterclass that is Nathan Bewley at the moment, and Harry Lawrence leading the GT class cars. Bewley in the hyper, rolling up through this final sector here. The switchbacks. Perfect hyper circuit. A perfect circuit for the hypers, J-Man, tonight. Like, seriously, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, and done it beautifully. Better part of 47, 48 seconds. Finishes with 3% remaining. Would have been enough for him to do one more. So calculated beautifully from Nathan Bewley. Had it gone that way, he was safe and brings it home. So fantastic job.
Absolute masterclass. Look, I would hesitate to say this would have to be probably the best circuit for a hypercar, to be honest. Just the downforce they generate here really does suit these cars. It has been awesome to watch. Chris Fraser, second on that list in the hypers, bringing it home with Hayden Tegg hot in tow too, mind you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Hayden really has chased Chris all the way. They round up a couple more of the GT cars. Chris Fraser across the line. Here comes Teggles. Very nice work over George Goddard, who is still coming up to the start-finish line, and bam, there it is. We have Harry Lawrence in the GT class car already tearing the rear tyres and brakes apart. In the Aston Martin, Matthew Clark's already put it in the garage. He doesn't want to see that malarkey. Matthew Clark in second position, and Steve Crossland, ladies and gentlemen,
podium.
Gets a podium. Finally, in the number 43 Aston here at Fuji, in the official Sim Blacks. Number 43 Aston Martin here, getting it done, J-Man. Out there soon for the fans and the sponsors alike. And talking about fans and sponsors and alike, ladies and gentlemen, remember to hit the like and subscribe button here if you like what you're watching, and support not only Rainlight Racing but MATCHFIT Entertainment in the process. Steve Crossland, that was just a celebratory lap from the Sim Blacks car. I'm sure Crossy is well chuffed with his efforts there tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race, Jay.
Yeah, fantastic performance on a circuit that was well forecast to be an absolute banger. So the guys did themselves proud tonight in their performances. I mean, once again, Nathan Bewley, fantastic effort, just literally that one flag to flag. But such a good battle as well between Fraser and Tegg at the back end. Georgie, unfortunately, that pit stop, I think if we heard about it, there would have been something just go a little astray there, because he had good car pace to mix it up with the other two as well. I think no one was on the same Post ticket is Bewley, but that GD3 battle, fantastic. I mean, Harry Lawrence, just the master of energy saving. Went a little bit out of sequence tonight. Opted for the undercut, and it paid dividends. Matty Clark, a bit of a masterclass in the pit stops as well. Got out nice and efficiently and grabbed the lead of the race, but that speed advantage to Harry Lawrence down the front straight as well. He didn't want to fight that too much, let him go, and grabbed a really comfortable second position. So we might just pick up from our race winners. Where are we? I'm just having a look here. We'll grab Harry Lawrence first from the GD3 class, Davo, and
Sure. Yep.
have a little bit of a chat to Harry. And he had to work for it tonight, but did it comfortably at the back end. You got us on comms, Harry?
I do.
Mate, a little bit of everything out there tonight. Had to work pretty hard for that one at stages. I think Ichikawa had some good pace and crossing, but once again, we saw the style of Harry Lawrence go and make some energy early. And I just mentioned, looked a little bit out of sequence for me tonight for you to go early, but it paid big dividends. You beat the rest of the pack down to the pit lane, did a nice stop, and man, played it really well at the back end as well. Was that the plan right from the start to maybe undercut these boys tonight?
The initial plan was to see how everyone went and to take left side tyres regardless, but I didn't realise the night time would come sooner, so I had to pit a little bit earlier to keep track temperature to get the tyres warmed up when I put those new tyres on. So it was a bit of a unexpected call to come in a bit early, but I think it was the right call. I was holding in quite well with the Crozzy and Ichikawa whilst fuel saving as well. So it also just got me in a bit of fresh air and was able to get the tyres up to temperature quite nicely. But they were putting on a lot of pressure at the start, especially Ichikawa. Very fortunate he did have a mistake to get back in front of him. Otherwise, I really think he might have been a bit too far away come the race end with the pace that he had.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about that. So obviously, did you still stick with the left-hand side option on the tyres during that stop?
Yeah, so the plan was always to take left side tyres. I did it last season.
Yep.
In the Mercedes, and it was just, that was the correct call back then. I expected it to be the correct call tonight as well.
And was there much of a pressure adjustment on that outgoing set, given that the nightfall had come a little earlier? Was the pressure adjustment significant?
Not as significant as I expected it to. Just that first lap was a little bit sketchy, but not as sketchy as what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, and hey, look, the pace was epic out there. We saw you late in the piece chasing that margin down to Matty Clark, and it was pretty noticeable that you were really comfortable with the back end. And one point that I think you really tidied up nicely, and it played to your advantage given how fast you were down the front straight, as well as just how much you tidied up the exit of turn 16, Harry. I saw early in the piece tonight there was a little bit of wagging in the tail, but not really evident towards the back end. So you pretty much dialed that corner in and gave yourself every opportunity. But man, fantastic racing once again, bud. Becoming the true magician of managing speed and energy. There's probably myself and plenty more wondering how you do it, how you go so fast, but yet make so much energy on these guys around you.
It's hard to say. I just pick a spot, a reference on the track to this is where I want to lift, and just break it 10 meters later and see if that works. And if it works, then I'll try 15 meters later on the brakes and just try and find where the latest possible point in braking is, so I only lose half a tenth instead of maybe 3/10, and get that energy back as well. It's kind of my strategy for fuel saving and for VE saving at the moment.
Yeah, well, it works blimmin' well, really. Week in, week out, we see it. We just see it week in, week out. And look, it shouldn't surprise us, but every single time it's just impressive to watch. So well done, mate. And look, if you want to shout out to anyone, mate, go right ahead.
I'll thank actually Steve Crosland tonight. for coming back tonight and having a really good race. He really deserves it, and I'm happy for the fella. And to you guys as well, always putting on a stream, always putting on a good watch for Tuesday morning. So thank you to you guys as well.
You're welcome, my friend. Well done once again. Harry Lawrence just absolutely dominating there in the back end. It was so cool to watch the performance throughout, Davo. Truly impressive. Massive congrats to Matty Clark and Steve Croston for making the podium. But I am going to jump quickly to Nathan Bewley, and we can work backwards from here. But I do want to grab our winners in case guys disappear, Davo. So we'll grab Nathan Bewley down there. Does this one comfortably tonight. The better part of, I think I called maybe 48 seconds, and with enough energy in it to go one more time, should it have been the case. Nathan, another flag to flag victory, meat and drink sort of situation, mate. Talk to us about maybe what we didn't see that went wrong, because we didn't see anything wrong tonight. Are you there?
Hey guys, yeah, like you said, it was a pretty good race. I mean, to be honest, I didn't expect to have that kind of race pace, because in the practice it looked a lot closer than that. So I'm not really sure what happened to the other boys, because it looked like a lot of us were doing like low to mid 30s, and then it looked like a couple of the boys like probably barely even got into the 30s. So it was a bit like that, and I seemed to be a bit faster than what because I in the practice beforehand, I think I did like a 30.5 or something race pace. So I was like, okay, that's where I'm going to be. And then to do a 29.8 or something, that was like, wow, that's completely unexpected.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about that, so people can understand during those 10-minute qualifying phases. You can more or less write off the first one, right, Nathan? And then the second one's probably still not there. So, you know, the intensity or the expectation from yourself as a driver and your fellow hypercar drivers out there when you're going about those qualifying sessions, the importance of cycling up that first one, and then just how fast you guys went was phenomenal in qualifying tonight. And just about, you know, maybe the mindset about, you know, knowing how long it takes to bring that tyre in, and then when to push, and we see you guys run those sessions right out. You know, there's no one diving back to pit lane. Hence, you know, obviously it takes so long to get the tyre up. So the intensity of that qualifying session after you just come out of a practice session where Chris Fraser was incredibly quick with you. You know, where's your head at when you go in that? Are you pretty much just riding off the first one and getting yourself into a position to push?
Yeah, kind of, because yeah, obviously, as you guys could see, it takes quite a few laps. It looked like it took maybe even more laps than what it did last week at Imola. Like, I think Imola was probably around like 2 laps, then you could push for the rest of the session. Obviously, with the tyres still coming up here, it felt like I needed like 3 kind of like the out lap and then 3 kind of heat laps, and then it was kind of like I could push on it, not even to try and get lap time, more just to push on it to try and actually generate some more temp. And then maybe like the last 2 laps or something like that is when you really probably have like the best times. So I guess for you guys, you're watching, or even anyone watching along, you see like a time pop up the first couple of laps, and you're like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden the next lap's like 4 seconds faster or something, and you're thinking, oh my god, how's that happen? It's just because they take so long to get up that it's just, you're nearly like you said, no one's diving in, because you're literally having to nearly put in your best lap right at the end, like that last bit of the 10 minutes.
Now, we heard from Harry, you know, we often ask the question about, you know, how do you go so fast but yet still be more efficient on the VE than your competitors? You seem to do it like Harry does week in, week out. Now, we picked up, he obviously just gave us a little insight that, you know, he might roll off a little early on a particular point of the racetrack and then potentially break 10 metres later. Are you looking to do that consciously throughout your race, you know, week in, week out? Are you, you know, because you're clearly making energy on the boys around you in similar or the same equipment. So is it like a premeditated thing that you're doing week in, week out, Nathan, to try and, you know, ensure that you hit the right numbers, or is it just coming naturally to you, or are you actually thinking about it?
I would say for me, it probably comes just naturally of my driving style, because I've always had it like that. Like, I think even when we did like that season, I think me and Isaac did that season of ACC, and we were in the exact same car, and I was always able to get like a lap extra. So
Yep.
I don't know. It must be something in my driving technique whether I like bleed off the throttle, like, and then like let it coast a bit and then brake, or brake and then obviously throttle, then brake, heavy brake, and then kind of like when I'm nearly getting near the apex, either roll off the brake and then just roll it through or something. Yeah, because it's always been like that. And yeah, I mean the hypercar's a little bit different to the GT cars because obviously we have the battery modes and that changes like how much of the battery you want to use versus the fuel. So for me, it seems quite simple for my car. Like I have like 0, 10 to 50, like 0 to 50, and usually I keep it around like 30, and then when I need to like burn it, because the battery's like quite high, I can chuck it in 40, whereas other cars it looks like they have more like settings, but I'm not sure how that works because it looked like at the start, uh, George, it looked like maybe in those first couple laps he actually had like a percent better than me. But
You
then
did. Yep.
as it kept on going on, it seemed like maybe when he turned the battery up with the Peugeot, it then looked like it swung the other way. Where
Yes.
then
Yep.
I had a better percentage. So yeah, it's sometimes like that. It's a bit strategical, but yeah, like I said, that's probably hypercar specific, and obviously, like I said, it's probably car specific.
Yep. And obviously the hard front left worked particularly well for you again. The only hypo out there to take that option that I could see tonight, Nathan. So that was premeditated to, you'd obviously put the laps in and worked out that was the wear tyre, and that was one you were going to ask a fair bit of. So back that strategy again. We've seen you do that frequently of late. So obviously it worked out again.
Yeah, it seemed to work out. I mean, I don't really come in to just say the race day with a particular like strategy or anything like that. It's like I pretty much get my kind of fuel numbers and my VE usage numbers in practice, and then obviously the practice laps that I do, I kind of like looking, okay, how bad is this tire? Because it actually looked like heat-wise, the medium on the front wasn't too bad, but it looked like it was just wearing a bit worse compared to the right-hand front. So I was like, if I chuck on this hard, I seen that it like was pretty even across the front axle, so the wear was quite even. So then it just made the car a bit more predictable.
Nice balance. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
work.
and
Oh,
yeah, because I think like the hard, like it isn't faster or slower. It just has like a higher temperature window, like working window. So we're especially through 200R. I was, if I needed to, I could absolutely fly through there like nearly full throttle with like maybe a little lift in between to heat it up. But then also, if I didn't need to, it was then still within that range where it wasn't like absolutely overheating.
okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. So what you're saying is you've actually just bolted something on the front there that can take the abuse if you need to give it. So, yeah, good call. Good
Yeah,
call.
I was surprised that
Good
no one
call.
else actually did that. Like I seen everybody else on the mediums, and I was actually surprised that no one else just tried something different, because
Yeah.
sometimes you see, obviously with the hypercars, we do have that change of like different compound to use. And yeah, I was surprised that would have thought that people might have seen maybe they didn't look or just felt the mediums were going to be fine. Because like I said, the mediums felt fine. It was just more that thing of conscious of my head. Okay, could see in, I know it's a different situation, but qualifying, you're absolutely trying to chuck the car around through the first sector and like everywhere. And you could see, okay, this thing after 6 or 7 laps, it's already quite hot. So if I'm running 50 laps here, obviously we didn't know, I think we ran 49 in the end, but it was nearly near 50. And you're thinking, okay, if I'm running the car maybe 90 to 95% to its maximum potential in the race, how is this tire gonna last that medium? And that was pretty much my mentality. Okay, it was already getting a hammering after those 7 laps of absolute push. So if I bring it back a little bit pace wise, but then still have to do many, many more laps, like, nearly 7 times the amount of qualifying laps, it was like, okay, that seemed to be the option. Yeah. And like I said, I was very surprised that no one else tried it. Even in practice, nobody tried it.
Hey, 7 days is a long time in sim racing. We'll see that happens next week. But look, mate, well done.
True that.
Well
True
done.
that.
Another fantastic performance. you're a humble dude. You don't often shout out too many people, but once again, the option's yours, mate. If you got supporters or friends that you want to shout out, another beautiful performance from Nathan Bewley, mate. The floor's yours.
Definitely.
Mate, you guys, here we go, you guys.
Thanks,
Awesome job, you know. We're quite. Yeah, because like I say, I mostly watch the races tomorrow or Wednesday, so they're good to watch back. Because like I always say, I'm in my own race, even if it's me out in front or me actually racing somebody in my class. Like to me, that doesn't matter. Still come here to enjoy it and just here for fun. And then obviously when you know, you guys get to commentate and watch the whole race, and then it's like, sweet, I can go back and watch that. So then it's not just all about what I was doing or thinking right at that moment. You know, when I'm driving around, oh my god, where am I going to pass this GT? Or what am I going to do with tires? What am I going to do with fuel? I can just hear you guys go absolutely ballistic when there's good action on the track and all that.
Oh, we love
Oh,
it.
there's always action. There's
Yeah,
always
we love
action.
it.
Yeah. Nah, well done, Nathan. Cheers for the chat,
Definitely.
mate. And yeah, beautiful performance.
Thank you, boys.
Cheers, mate. There you go. That is Nathan Bewley. And look, I'm just going to look. I wanted to wrap it up, but there's
Yeah.
two guys that
Yeah,
are just
yeah.
going to drag down, and they are second and third
Let's
in
do
class
that.
tonight for the GD3s. And I just wanted to grab them down for a special mention. I mean, we both really respect these two blokes, and they put on a hell of a show tonight. Steve Cross and Matty Clark, you got us on comms?
Yeah, mate. I do indeed. I was 2 seconds from leaving. I was not expecting this.
Hey, look, fantastic performance out of both of you. Both of you at times tonight led the race, and I do strongly believe that both of you had the ability to win it. If Harry Lawrence wasn't, I'm not. I'm just mucking with you. No, you both had the ability. Okay, so the pace was there. Beautiful pit stop, Matty Clark, to come out where you did. Crossy, the pace on your car tonight was, right from the practice session, said that you deserve to be there as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the podium, but I'm just saying that I think both of you had the option as well with Harry Lawrence to win this thing. It could have gone any way.
So regarding the pit stop, I don't know how that worked out for me. I must have absolutely crushed the entry to the pits because I had less VE than both. I know Harry changed tyres, so that one explains itself. But Isaac, I had less VE then, so I was expecting to still be behind after the pits. I really don't know how that worked out for me. But in regards to trying to win the race, I thought about it. But basically, knowing Harry was on had at least fresh left side tyres and the straight line speed of the Aston, I knew that if he caught up to me, I was going to have nothing for it, and I made a conscious decision that for the championship it was better to just take second place than fight and maybe Crossy and Isaac get back into it.
Well, if anything, it was probably Crossy, right? So Crossy was doing a beautiful job defending Harry at that stage with the same equipment. It was literally, I believe, a hyper that ended up splitting the difference, Crossy, if you remember that you guys came down into I think it might have been turn 10, and the brakes are so good on these GT3s that even when the hypers get there, they compromise your apex ability at times, and we've seen it time and time again. And look, it's part of the racing, and it's a pendulum for those guys as well. When they get to you, there's just chances they can't get. But I tell you what, if that had gone on longer, Matt, Crossy was doing a nice job with Harry, and I think that would have played to your advantage. So like I say, all three cars had the ability to be there. Isaac as well, had he put the correct amount of fuel in, I think he showed great speed. But I think, the big picture is starting from practice session right through Crossy. Mate, you had some dig deep moments during the week, and I tell you what, we really appreciate that you turned up tonight, because you certainly put on the performance that we know you can deliver. So yeah, congrats, boys.
Yeah, cheers, man. I did a lot of practice during the week and pedal work.
Yep.
Because always seen me stamp the throttle, and it jumps a bit too hard, and that's where I tend to loop it. But so I spent a lot of time on that and just sitting there dialing set up, and got it to a point where it's low wing, but it was stable enough. The tires are wearing pretty evenly, which was just it was mint. I was just the unlucky guy being at the front of the peloton. All these guys are just drafting and saving fuel.
The peloton, that's right. Yeah, true that.
Well, I didn't really have an option to lead, I don't think.
I was enjoying though to get to the straight, and Matt's in the mirror. I see the a 10th, and in another 10th. Like, yeah, he's got another now. But you were braking so late, man. You were filling that mirror up at the end of that straight every lap.
You talked about the brakes, Crossy, but I want to pick up on a moment more than once throughout the race that I sort of cringed initially, and then as the race went on, I thought, nah, he's definitely changed something there. So I'm going to pick on turn 3, so Coca-Cola turn. When you come out of turn 1, down through the Kinka 2, and then you head to that fast left-hander, and you were firing it over the curb there. And traditionally, we've seen at times, Gunther's car does a similar thing when it bounces and preloads off the curbs, and then it doesn't retain that grip again. And that's, we've seen at times that's been the one where your car's been upset over the curb, but you were smashing that curb. The car was bouncing, landing, gripped up, and carrying on. And I think that was for me as a broadcaster, that was a moment where I thought, look, the car and you look a lot more comfortable tonight going down through there. Like those are the points. Consistently, I mean, we get to watch you plenty, mate, and we see the good and the bad. And unfortunately, at times when the cars come off the curb and preloaded and unloaded, that's when it's sort of come around and you haven't been able to do anything about it. But tonight, the car looked good down through there, and it's solid everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely felt like I had a car I could fight with tonight. Yep. And just pretty much trying to put the mirror out of my sight and just hit my marks. That's what I was doing. I was just like ignoring what was going on behind me. Sure, they're there, but just trying to get the apexes and look after the tires. Just get it to the end and as fast as I could. So it was really good to drive tonight.
And Matt, you also, the car, you must have been up against it every time you come out of turn 16 down the front straight. I think it's pretty hard to defend against that. However, one advantage that we saw you have early in the piece is your exit speed out of there was really good, and it was certainly negating the advantage that the other cars had on you. I mean, I talked to Harry earlier and sort of said he was wagging the tail out of there a little bit earlier in the night, and he tidied it up towards the back end, and he probably needed to get to be able to make that run count. But your car looked strong all the way through that tighter stuff, 13, 14, 15, and then out of 16, your drive traction out of there was really good. So I think that bode well, considering you're up against it, excuse me, down the front straight tonight.
Yeah, I think I just had to lean on all of the Porsche's strengths to really have a shot. It was, pretty evident straight away I wasn't going to actually be able to overtake those guys, so it became just maximizing all of the places where I could gain time and hope for something to work out in my favor, which I guess it did. Like turn 4-5 for me is always a big one at Fuji, where I feel like I gain a lot of time on other people. So I was really leaning on that to consistently close up the gap that I would have lost coming down the main straight, and then just try to stick as close as I could until we get back to 16 again. Was kind of the game plan every lap.
Yeah. It's a long night when you got to drive like that, right? But nonetheless, you two blokes make up the podium here. There was a lot of fantastic racing behind you. Also, Noah Reid, Gunther Rowe, Shane Fodderday. I mean, it was once again Fuji delivered. The drivers delivered as well. The drivers deliver week in, week out. But this combination, I think, is one that must stay on the calendar for Fuji's a long time coming. It just works. Yeah. So, well done, boys. If you both want to give your sponsors a shout out and your supporters, go right ahead. Everyone else gets the opportunity. So, mate, give whoever you need to give a plug, boys.
Go thank your mum, Matt.
Thanks, Sue.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Sue. Cheers, Simblacks. Thanks, you boys. MATCHFIT, Mr. Grippy, True to Life Racing, and of course, all Crossy me, and just the guys, for turning up and supporting our league. We've got a really tight, good bunch of races at the moment. Some new guys coming on, still learning the ropes, but it's looking healthy, and it's a good place to race, at the moment. So it's awesome. So thanks to just all the competitors like Matt here,
Yep.
No, I appreciate what you fellas do. We've I know Joseph and I've talked about it so many times. We love coming racing here, so just appreciate the quality, but also the community of people. It's just good.
Job, boys. Well done, guys. Congrats, and yeah, looking forward to next week. Cheers, fellas.
Just quickly,
Cheers,
Yep.
Yep.
in case you boys aren't aware, it's a 2-point difference between first and second in the GT3 championship with 3 rounds left.
Yes,
Big things are coming.
We
Yep.
we have been watching that actually, just quietly. Yes, very close. Very close.
Yeah. Hopefully Noah and I can put on a and Gunter can put on
Gunter's right
a
there.
good scrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice work, boys. Well done.
But
We'll be watching intently.
We are definitely Gunter, the silent achiever. We're calling him at the moment.
Yeah, very much. Very much.
So, watch
Cheers,
out.
fellas. All right.
Awesome
Davo,
stuff.
I'll let you
Appreciate
wrap this
it.
one up.
Thanks,
See you
boys.
guys.
Thank
Cheers,
you, ladies and gentlemen, and look, all of our supporters and all the viewers that have tuned in tonight for Monday night at MATCHFIT Entertainment for the official coverage, viewers, of the Rain Light Racing's 2026 LMU Season 13, and it has been epic, I tell you, right from the start. And tonight was no different here at Fuji for round 7. Let's bring up the calendar because we are going to Sebring. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. And next week for another 75 minutes here at Rainlight Racing on Monday night. If you have enjoyed what you have been watching tonight, please support Rainlight Racing and MATCHFIT Entertainment in the process by just hitting the like button there. That helps us both out endlessly. That's awesome stuff. Also, hit the subscribe and the notifications if you want to stay in touch with everything that's going on. Obviously, MATCHFIT Entertainment streaming 3 nights a week. At the moment, usually 4, but only 3 at the moment. I think we've got some V8 supercars tomorrow night for SCNZ and some Porsche Cup action on a Wednesday night. As always, and but on a Monday night, we'll be back again for Rainlight Racing's LMU series. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This stream has been powered by GAMAFLARE and the SimRacing Hub. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you all next week.